Hey, it's Christina again, and I'm back to read more chapters from Frost Friends Forever, which is the second book in the Diary of an Ice Princess chapter book series. So when we left off, it was the end of chapter 6, and Lina had these big plans for a sleepover, and so far, none of them are going according to plan. So let's read and see what keeps happening in the next chapter, which is called Checkmate, chapter 7. Diary, I am writing this from my bed. It's only 9 o'clock, and Claudia is already asleep, which should tell you how the rest of the night went. After dinner, we went into the parlor room. Great Aunt Eastia sat by the fireplace with Mom and Dad while Claudia and I played games. So these are some of the games that they have at their house, at their castle. Snowopoly, skis and ladders, go ice fishing, and hungry polar bears. I really love those details that our illustrator Barbara put in the book. Checkmate, said Claudia for the third time. Want to play again? I slumped in my chair. If we were a normal family, we would have been watching a movie. But we don't have any movies. We don't even have a television. Turnip soup and chess. This wasn't the fun sleepover I imagined at all. Then I had a brilliant idea. So here is Lina and Claudia playing chess, and Lina's like, this is not what I imagined. But she has a brilliant idea. Mom, Dad, we've got to go do our homework, I said. Right now? Mom asked. Never too early to start, right, Claudia? I gave her my please go along with it look. Claudia got the hint. Yup, the early bird gets the good grades. Such studious young girls, said Great Aunt Eastia. We said our goodnights, and I pulled Claudia out into the hallway. You don't seriously want to do homework right now, do you? Claudia whispered. Of course I do. Miss Collier said we were supposed to observe science in action. I think we should observe one of the forces we learned about in class. So these are the forces that they have studied in their class. Gravity, magnetism, and friction. You studied forces in your science class already? Those are some of the forces that you'll learn about. Claudia gave me her, what are you up to look. Is this going to involve ice? I smiled really big. Trust me, this will be way better than sitting in that boring old parlor room. It wasn't boring, said Claudia, but I knew she was just trying to be nice. I took her hand and led her down the hall. Come on, this is in the name of science. Chapter 8 is called Frictionless Fun. Oh, so they're going to do an experiment about friction, and it has something to do with ice. So what do you think they're going to do? Yes, Diary, I know. I'm not supposed to use my powers while Great Aunt Eastia is visiting. But we were in the ballroom, which is all the way at the other end of the castle, so I figured she would never know. Miss Collier taught us that when two objects rub against each other, they cause friction. So here's some examples of friction. Like when you rub your hands together to warm them up, or when you push a chair across the room, or when you give your dog a really good back rub. I'm sure you have experienced friction before. If you just rub something, that is creating a force of friction. When something slides across a surface, the force of friction will slow it down. But if the surface is really smooth and slippery like ice, friction is lower, and that makes for epic sliding. I checked one more time that the ballroom doors were closed. Then I turned to Claudia. Are you ready, observation partner? Claudia tapped her pencil on her notebook. Ready to observe. I held up my hands and took a deep breath. Until a few months ago, my winter magic would slip out and do wacky things. But ever since I learned that I'm a winter heart, I've been much better at controlling my powers. Even so, I didn't want anyone to know what we were doing, so I tried to keep things as chill as possible. Luckily, ice is as chill as it gets. This is Lina using her powers. I don't know why I need to get close. There we go. Just the book needs to get close, not me. I waved my hands in front of me and let my breath out slowly. A thin layer of ice coated the floor. I laid down another layer and another until the ice was thick and smooth. Claudia grinned. Okay, let's see some low friction in action. I grabbed a cushion off one of the ballroom chairs, took a running start, and slid on my belly all the way across the room. Whee! Not bad, Claudia said, but I think my cushion will slide even farther. Please stand back, in the name of science. We observed every cushion in the room. After a little while, we started observing each other doing awesome tricks, like a 360-degree spin. Oh, look there. Oh, again, I don't need to get close, just the picture. That would be so fun, right? Sliding across a ballroom covered in ice on these pillows. That would be awesome. I landed my spin gracefully. Okay, I slammed into the wall, but with pizzazz. Claudia, it's your turn again. Claudia? Claudia had a petrified look on her face as she pointed behind me. I turned around and saw Great Aunt Eastia with her hands on her hips. Gosh, Diary, who knew someone could glare with disapproval and shiver at the same time? Oh no. They are in trouble, right? All right, chapter 9. You can guess what happens in this one because the chapter is called A Scolding Fit for a Princess. Great Aunt Eastia might seem like a sweet older lady, but she is also a powerful member of the Windtamer royal family. In that moment, she looked like a very angry member of the royal family. With a snap of her fingers, a hot, dry wind rolled through the room, melting the ice and evaporating it. I may have trembled just a little bit. Lina, this behavior is not fit for a young princess, she said. I'm sorry, this is a palace, not a circus. Not only that, but when I went to check on you, I found bottles of syrup in your room. Sugary syrup will rot your teeth, and it attracts ants. Ants? How are we going to get ants up here, Diary? We live on a cloud. Great Aunt Eastia pulled her coat tighter. You also promised your mother that you wouldn't use your winter magic while I'm here. We were just trying to have some fun. My great aunt's expression softened. Lina, do you understand what it means to be a princess? Have you ever been yelled at like this by a member of your family? It's not fun. Yes, I said with a small sigh. Stand up straight, mind my manners. Great Aunt Eastia shook her head. It means that you act honorably. It means that you think about other people, not just about yourself. It means you keep your promises. I didn't know what to say, so I just stared down at my feet. You and Claudia will go straight to bed, said Great Aunt Eastia, or else I will have to have a discussion with your parents. We couldn't argue with that. Claudia and I trudged upstairs. Claudia seemed really sad, Diary. I think she's disappointed, and who could blame her? No pizza, no movies, no fun of any kind, and now we can't even have snow cones. This sleepover is a complete disaster. But I'm not going to give up just because my old-fashioned great aunt wants me to act like a princess. I have to do something. Diary, tomorrow morning, Operation Sleepover is going into full effect. So I wonder what's going to happen. I know because I wrote the book, but I'm just saying that so that you'll tune in to the next video when I'll read more chapters from Diary of an Ice Princess, Frost Friends Forever.